Would you burn your money? In Germany, 1923, people did that because money was worthless due to hyperinflation. Historical events like this have shown that the centralized system has big flaws, such as inflation, financial crises, and stagflation. Now we have crypto, which is scarceable, durable, divisible, and aiming to take over the world with decentralization. So we'll talk about how crypto could solve such economic problems. Back to the story of 1923. Hyperinflation happened when the Weimar government decided to pay for striking workers against the occupation by French troops for 3 years. As more Reichsmarks banknotes were printed, the less value they had. And on top of that, prices of goods started to increase rapidly. Because of hyperinflation, a loaf of bread cost 80 billion Reichsmarks instead of 1/4 of a Reichsmarks as it was before. People even carried their money in buckets or luggages, and money was so worthless that kids played with them as toys. So, inflation happens because of increased demand for money. Today, the central bank or Federal Reserve of the USA controls inflation by deciding how much paper currency can be printed. So as more money appears, the less value they have, and since money loses its value, prices of goods rise immediately. But as crypto is being decentralized, there is no central bank that regulates everything. In blockchain technology, every user is a bank that is responsible for its own wealth. Bitcoin is known as an inflation-resistant currency because Bitcoin's price went up steadily despite outside changes such as mass unemployment or global economic unrest. The US dollar is tied up to GDP, export prices, monetary policy, and currency demand, while Bitcoin is not. Also, Bitcoin is the first asset that has a strict supply limit. However, the Federal Reserve has an infinite amount of cash. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin in existence, so that's why there is no possibility to match increased demand by supplying more Bitcoin. Limited supply means that new coins cannot enter circulation, and it makes Bitcoin being scarce, ensuring that its value will remain steady over time and eliminating the risk of inflation. Bitcoin is an international asset that does not belong to any single entity, economy, or currency, so Bitcoin reflects global demand. On the contrary, there is deflation, as prices are going down and the value of money rises. At some points, deflation can show a weakening economy, but if we talk about technologies, and crypto is one of them, then deflation is very beneficial. Because we can use technologies such as apps paying very little or even for free. For example, the Waze app is free, but it works very efficiently and helps us to navigate the road. Jeff Booth, entrepreneur, technology leader, strategic advisor, and author of the book The Price of Tomorrow: Why Deflation is the Key to an Abundant Future, mentions that technologies can save the world because their value increases over time. We see how prices are rising dramatically and gains are low because of central governments and monetization. That's why there is so much debt in the world and the gap between social classes. According to Booth, Bitcoin is going to be a system change because it's decentralized, global, and independent from economic changes. Banks are holding the whole economy on lending money and on people's trust. Banks lend more money than they actually deposit, and we give our money to keep it safe, while banks lend that money to someone else in order to make money for themselves. In 2007-2008, banks' regulations were relaxed, and the Great Recession happened because many people borrowed money in order to buy houses that were far more expensive than their ability to repay for it. And it led large US and European banks to lose more than $1 trillion. As you know, blockchain technology has no banks to regulate or to fail at regulation of lending money, so you can safely lend your money to other people and make profit from interest and transaction fees. If you want to know more about lending, find a link in the description box down below. Some blockchains are based on smart contracts, computer codes that cannot be changed. is like an agreement between two people, but in case the borrower decides not to pay interest, all money returns to the lender. If you combine inflation, high unemployment, and a slowly growing economy, or stagnation, together, you get stagflation, another economic problem. Even though the stagflation period was recognized in 1973 to 1982 due to the first and second oil shocks, when oil prices surged greatly because of oil production decline, stagflation can come back. Inflation is already happening. The growth of the economy is already slow due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and oil prices skyrocketed after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Moreover, it's possible to observe higher unemployment rates in the future because of these events. In the 1970s, gold was the asset where people decided to invest in. People knew that the economy was weak, the dollar had little value, and gold was a reliable choice because of its well-recognition, scarcity, divisibility, portability, and durability. Nowadays, gold is not used so much anymore, but we have digital gold, Bitcoin, because it has similar features: scarcity, divisibility, durability, and well-recognition. But Bitcoin is more portable, decentralized, and transferable, and not dependent, while gold is in control of sovereign nations. So Bitcoin is better than gold. More people rely on crypto and realize its potential. Countries such as El Salvador, Venezuela, Brazil, Ukraine recognized Bitcoin as equal as fiat currency to make their economies stronger. For example, El Salvador doesn't use its native currency, peso, because of its weak economy. El Salvador decided to use the US dollar instead. But as you know, the Federal Reserve regulates all other banks, so if something unpredictable happens, such as El Salvador's bank's bankruptcy, El Salvador could not use dollars. On the other hand, no one can shut down Bitcoin. Moreover, the number of citizens in El Salvador does not have access to banks, so crypto is the option for them to participate in the economy and make money transfers. Also, Bitcoin eased international transfers for citizens. Crypto is still evolving, but a decentralized system has its own superiority over a centralized system. It helps to avoid financial crises, and hopefully it will make the economy stronger in the future. But of course, it's only in our hands. If more and more people recognize crypto as equal to fiat currency, then probably lots of changes will occur in the world's economy. What do you think about this? Leave your response in the comment section down below and press like for more crypto summary videos.